Ahmed Fawzi, welcome to the Peace One Day broadcast.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Congratulations on 26 years of doing this.
Thank you. Well, 26 years of your continuous support is why I've been doing it.
Indeed.
But look, on a serious note, you've devoted your life to helping others, to peace, and supporting some of the great peacemakers of this world. It's incredible. Your career is incredible. And we are at Peace One Day indebted to you for every door you've opened and every bit of support you've ever given. It has been incredible. But I want to ask you, at the United Nations, they do hold a minute of silence on this day. And I want to hand over to you because you said to me, this is important.
Yes, I did. And thank you for this opportunity, because I've been looking back at our collaboration over the past 26 years, and we've made a lot of progress in many areas. But this year is such an unusual year in terms of how many conflicts are raging in the world today. And believe it or not, there are over 110 conflicts, with billions of people living in conflict, with millions of people displaced. And the casualties are so enormous, it's just unthinkable. And I want us to reflect for a minute on those casualties. I want us to respect their lives, which they have lost. Many civilians, children, women, men, who lost their lives and left behind orphans or brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers. So I want us to reflect deeply and pay our respects to the victims of conflict. If we could pause and have a minute's silence just to set the scene for this unusual day of peace. Starting, please, in 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. We must never forget the casualties of war, especially the civilians and the combatants. Sometimes they're forced into these situations against their will. Ukraine is an example. Gaza is an example. Myanmar is an example. Sudan is an example. I could go on and on.
Yeah. Well, that was a really important thing that you instigated there, Ahmed, and thank you for doing that.
Thank you for accepting.
I want to find out. It's been 26 years that we've been on the road together. I mean, you have been on the road with me many times. What is it about this day and Peace One Day? Why 26 years of just continuous support?
Because there's no alternative, and because I believe in every minute of every day and year and the 26 years that we have been trying to promote peace in the world. And people, especially the skeptics, will tell you, what use is it? What you're doing has no effect. Nonsense. I believe that if we put the concept peace in the world's conversation, it'll start to sink in, and it is known at the United Nations and across many respectable organizations that peace is the cornerstone of prosperity. That any country that is in conflict will not prosper. A country that is at peace will have development, respect for the dignity of human beings. It will have respect for the rule of law, respect for international humanitarian law, and respect for human rights. And therefore, building on that, you will have countries that are developed. And when we look at the world today, you look at, for example, Northern Europe. All the countries in Northern Europe are developed countries. They're in the top 10 of the Human Development Report because they are at peace with themselves and at peace with their neighbors. That's why I support it's not just a concept, it is a reality. Look at around us today. We have war raging because of the lack of peace. Now that sounds simple, but peace is not just the absence of war. It is the presence of justice and respect for human rights and the dignity of every human being. What is the alternative for people like me who have worked at the United Nations and have seen the horrors of war and have been to combat zones and post-conflict zones? The death and destruction is unthinkable. It's not a movie, it's reality. And so I respect what you have done, and I have supported you and Peace One Day, and will always do so, because there's no alternative. And we have to tell people around the world, peace is essential for your life and the life of the people around you.
Yeah, well said, Ahmad. And you know, your journey and your wisdoms from all the way back to Sadat or Kofi Annan or Sergio de Mello or Brahimi, or I mean, think of the unbelievable men and women that you've lost and travelled with.
Sadly, we've lost Kofi Annan and Sadat and many of the people I've worked with. Brahimi is still with us, I'm glad to say.
And this is where your passion, I mean, your understanding of the importance of peace comes from an unbelievable career and journey. I want to ask you, we have only a few minutes. I want to ask you about, you're from the Arab world. I'm thinking about Gaza and what is happening. I mean, how do we make sense of this?
You can't make sense of it because it is senseless. What is going on in Gaza, and I have to say, we mustn't forget the 7th of October, because a terrorist organization, Hamas, attacked Israel and 1,200 people were brutally murdered. Horrible things took place. The retaliation, on the other hand, is also brutal. And I have to say, we have revisionists ruling the world, ruling many countries today. Revisionists who are rewriting history. Whether it's in the context of what you just asked me, or in the context of Ukraine, we lack leaders with vision, leaders with integrity, honesty, respect for the dignity of man and woman. We lack leadership in the world today. Think Mandela, think Kofi Annan, think JFK, think Martin Luther King, gone. And we need that kind of leadership to stop that kind of lunatic behavior that is going on in many areas of the world. So, yes, I'm from the Arab world. How can I explain what's going on? I can't. It is truly brutal. And the leaders responsible for what's going on are leaders we call revisionists. They're trying to justify their goals by rewriting history. And it is, from the Arab perspective, a humiliating exercise. From Gaza to Lebanon to Iran to Yemen to Qatar, it's humiliating. And the world stands by and lets it happen. The only solution is to have leaders with vision, integrity, and respect for international law.
Yeah. Okay, Ahmed, it was interesting there was a baby crying in that moment. I'm sure you would have thought the same thing.
That, yeah.
To think that there are so many children just caught in these crossfires in Gaza, in Ukraine, and all of the other areas that you've mentioned.
Unconscionable. Children are being targeted in the head and in the torso.
Yeah. So look, you held a minute of silence. We thought about those people. We thought about them. We'll continue to think about them. We'll continue to put out as much constructive narrative around the fundamental issues that relate to humanity's survival. We're dedicated to that. We'll never stop doing that. To somebody out there now, with the wisdoms that you have, who is feeling disempowered and frightened by what we're doing to the planet, what we're doing to each other, what makes them not want to give up? We don't have long, but can you tell me what you think?
It's very simple. The only alternative is peace, people. The only alternative. Stand up for peace. Stand up for peace and speak up for peace. Every individual can play a role. It is the public, not the governments, the public who should guide governments. And it is the public that can bring down governments. And we have seen it. Uprisings against tyrannical leaders. It's the only way to get rid of tyranny and injustice. And I say, never give up. Never give up. I will never give up. Do not give up on peace. Peace within your family. Peace within your community. Peace within your countries. And elect leaders who have integrity and vision.
You're an amazing man.
No, I'm not. You're
No. That's it. Ahmed Fawzi, I wish you the very best on your journey.
Thanks.
Thank you for everything that you've done for me and for Peace One Day and for many other people around the world.
Thanks.